Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today I'd like to share with you a really simple method that can help you instill and cultivate a wealth mindset with Bazi Astrology. Now, this all depends on what kind of annual energies you are dealing with. And as we all know, some years we find it easier to save money or easier to attract wealth opportunities. And then there are other years that we find it quite difficult and suddenly we just have much more expenses than any type of income. And so very often this really has to do with an overabundance of a particular energy in our chart. And in order to see what you need to do, we can just check your annual fluctuation in a Bazi chart. Now let's have a look at what you actually need to look at. First of all, you need to go to this URL. I will also post it in the notes of this video. So you can just follow this URL and then plot your free Bazi chart. And then once you plot your Bazi chart, you will see there's about 2 pages of a lot of information. And if you're a newbie, lots of it will look quite complicated and confusing. But don't worry, all you need to do is scroll all the way down. So literally on the second page, all the way at the bottom, you will find these 2 diagrams. And the one that we are actually interested in is this one here. Yeah, nothing else. This is what we are looking at. So you can see here, there's a light color diagram. This is the natal distribution of the 5 elements. 5 elements, as you see here: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And for some of you, the distribution may be different. Yeah, some of you may have earth here or metal up on top. It doesn't matter. Yeah, don't get confused by this. Where those elements are is completely irrelevant. You will have all 5 of them present there, represented by this light colored diagram. And then you also have the purple color diagram, which is the annual fluctuation. So basically what this means is that we are all born with a particular elemental distribution or percentage in our Bazi chart. Yeah, some of us have more fire, some of us have more water, some of us have more metal, and so on. But on an annual basis, we are inviting into our lives additional elements, or some of the elements that are really strong for us are being diminished a little bit. This is normal, this is completely natural, and this happens to all of us. Now, the annual fluctuations are the kind of influences that can hinder our wealth mindset, or that can really boost our wealth mindset. So it is worthwhile to actually check what's going on with those energies. Now, what you need to do is focus, as I said, here on the purple diagram. Yeah, so this one here. This is what you focus on. All the rest, just forget about it. Don't get confused. And then you zoom into this diagram and check there's always a percentage. So here you have 60. This one here, I think, is 40. Here, this is up at 60. Yeah, this is at 40. So you have all of these percentages written there within the diagram. So all you need to do is check the percentage for each of the elements. So for example, here the water element annually this year stands at 60%. The metal element this year stands at, I would say, about 50%. The earth element here is about 60%. Yeah, then we've got the fire element. This is at 20%. And then here's the wood element at 40%. Yeah, so just take note of the percentage for each one of these elements. And then you identify the one that is the strongest. So let's say one is at 80% and all the others are hovering around 60. Then the 80%, that's the element that exerts the most influence on you during this particular year. We're not concerned with all the others. You just look at the strongest, at the one with the highest percentage. Now, some of you, and again, this is completely normal, this happens a lot, may have two elements that are at the same percentage that is very high. So maybe you have two elements that are both at 70%. Yeah, great. So you just look at both of those when it comes to analyzing what type of mindset, wealth mindset you need to cultivate during this particular year. The key is to focus on the strongest one, the one that has the highest peak. Yeah, we're not concerned with the 0, 20, 30, whatever, just focus on the strongest one. So this one here, obviously there's a 60%, and I would say here also 60%. So this is what we're looking at for this particular person. We would look at the water and the earth. Now, what does this mean? So if the fire element is the strongest element during this year 2021, then what you need to do in order to cultivate a wealth mindset is to understand the true value of your network, of the connections that you have, whether that be your friendships or your professional network. It doesn't matter. You need to really leverage on people power, on the people you know, on the people you're connected with. Because for you, if the fire element is strongest this year, your network equals net worth. Yeah, so the more people you know, the more wealth opportunities you will attract. So focus on your network and on making friends. If you are uncomfortable with networking, do it anyway, just for this year. Yeah, give it a try, and go out to at least one networking event a week. I know nowadays a lot of these things are being held online. Maybe that makes you more comfortable, but really try doing this, because this is where your wealth mindset is cultivated the best. And if you focus on this, this will actually give you 80% return on 20% effort. So this is a really, really good percentage. You don't have to put that much effort in to get the maximum out of it. So this is for all those of you who have fire as the highest percentage or the strongest element during 2021. Now, if you happen to have metal as the strongest element, then the way to attract more wealth opportunities this year is by being more flexible. If you have metal as the strongest element, you tend to be quite stubborn and quite rigid and unforgiving. But you need to learn to become much, much more flexible. And I'm not saying you need to break your principles, but just be willing to make more compromises, even if it hurts a little bit inside and you're like, oh, normally I wouldn't do this. But be willing to compromise more so that everybody can win. If you allow everyone to win, you will be asked to join hands with other people much, much more frequently. And that's then how you can create that wealth mindset and attract more wealth opportunities. The next one is the wood element. So the wood element is very straightforward. If that is the strongest element in your chart for 2021, you need to learn to execute. The wood element usually is associated with a lot of thinking, a lot of self-development. You strategize, you plan. Yeah, but at some point you need to stop planning, you need to stop strategizing, and you actually need to execute. So this year, if the wood element is your strongest element, according to this diagram, then execute. Yeah, stop thinking. I mean, I'm not telling you to completely switch off your brain, but at some point, just stop thinking and just do it. Yeah, learn on the go and stop worrying so much about what could go wrong and should I have done this? Could I have that? Could I have done that? Just do it, execute, and then just learn on the fly. And if you are seen as someone who can execute, who can take quick decisions, you will be offered more opportunities this year. All right, then we've got the earth element. So here in this chart, we've got two, yeah, the two strongest. One is the water, one is the earth. So for this person here, Earth being one of the strongest elements, you need to simplify your life, right? So Earth, when it's very strong in a chart, usually means that you accumulate a lot of burdens, you accumulate a lot of stuff, be that tangible or intangible. But if this is your strongest element, because you have that particular tendency to just accumulate, you need to learn to simplify your life, eliminate mental, emotional, but also financial burdens. Yeah, especially if it comes to the wealth mindset, have a look at what is a financial burden that is really not needed. Do you really need to have this particular membership? Do you really need to have this subscription? Yeah, there's a lot of small financial burdens that add up to quite a significant amount of money, but because they're individually so small, we don't realize that they are kind of weighing us down. So examine what kind of burden you could eliminate from your life, how you could simplify your life. And again, also, you can mentally, you can eliminate mental burdens, you can eliminate emotional burdens. Yeah, eliminate the drama queens from your life. They suck all your energies. And if you are drained, you're not really going to look at wealth opportunities. You're either going to be too tired, or you're too exhausted, or you're too busy with other things, right? So really simplify your life, and that will open up the doors for other wealth opportunities to come in. And this will really help boost your wealth mindset. And then finally, we've got the water element. If that is your strongest, so in this particular example here, as I said, the water and the earth, they're equally as strong, both at 60%. So we would look at both. So if the water is your strongest element in this particular year, then water being associated with emotions, you need to work on being a bit more positive. Now, I'm not saying that once you have an abundance mindset, the money is just going to drop from the sky into your lap and you don't have to do anything. Yeah, it's nice to be positive, but that doesn't make you rich necessarily. But with a strong water element this year, you will tend to see more of the negative things in life. You will tend to see more of the risks, or the disadvantages of a particular situation. So you need to learn to snap out of this and have more faith in yourself, and that you can actually deal with challenges, and that you can deal with opportunities that are coming your way, even though you may not know or be familiar with every single aspect of it. But just take the opportunity and have faith that you can do it. Yeah, don't think too negatively about everything that is coming your way, and oh, I may not have the skills, I may not have the time, I don't know how to do it. Yeah, don't talk yourself out of wealth opportunities. So with the water element, it's really about instilling faith and positivity back into your life. And once you have faith, the fear will disappear, and the fear of taking opportunities will disappear. And that will create that wealth mindset, or cultivate a wealth mindset that then attracts opportunities. So this is very, very simply put how you can check your this year's Bazi chart, and check what it is that you need to focus on in order to really boost your mindset and open your mind up for new wealth opportunities to enter. I hope this helped a little bit. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. All my contact details are in the notes below.